Hi, this is Stephen Olivo, BXB podcast host. I'm here today with Karissa. Carissa's a young entrepreneur that's doing great things. And, I just love to have entrepreneurs on here. But when you're at a young age and you're doing so many things and so many goals you have accomplished already, it's something to really, be honorable about. Karissa, go ahead, take the stage, introduce yourself, and, give a little insight about you.
Yeah, so I'm Karissa. I've been an entrepreneur since I was 16. My first business was actually a car flipping business. So I'd flip cars for a profit at 16. Then I did a cleaning business, and now I'm doing this finance stuff, which I really enjoy. From Iowa, I'm 19. I'm still learning and growing, but that's kind of a little bit about me.
Man,
So,
so you were flipping cars at 16.
yep.
What got you into that?
So I'm from Iowa, so there's just like a whole bunch of cars. So me and my friend got up together and we're like, we're bored, we got nothing to do. We don't want to do what everyone else is doing sports and everything. So we just wanted to make money. So we saw these cars like on Facebook Marketplace and stuff. They were cheap. We just go pick it up, haul it to our shop, and then if we couldn't flip it, if we couldn't fix it, we just scrap it for a profit. So that's kind of what got me started. And that was with my friend.
At
Did that for
16.
16.
That's
And
awesome.
yeah, it was
That's
awesome.
awesome.
I liked it.
How long you did that for?
Like a year.
A
Like a year.
year?
Yeah.
Made your money. That's where you ended up going to
Yeah.
your cleaning company.
Yeah.
So
Pretty
how
much.
old were you when you started your cleaning?
I was 18, just turned
18.
18. Yep.
Awesome. Huh? And you said you used to do that, you build that up by yourself, and then eventually you ended up selling it for a profit.
Yeah.
Now, what got you into into the cleaning the cars? I mean, cleaning, the cleaning service.
It was easy. It sounded like an easy business to do and start up. I mean, in my local area, I'm from like a smaller town, and there was no cleaning service. So I was like, there's a whole bunch of people. Why not do it? I started it and I got a lot of people into it. Then I slowly realized I was like, I'm not real into labor and cleaning and dealing with all that stuff. So I got a couple of my friends into it and I sold it to them, and they're doing great with it now.
Awesome.
So that's kind of what got me into it. I always wanted to be an entrepreneur, and I found out that I wasn't a great employee because I always kind of like to do my own
Do
thing.
your own thing, yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Uh,
awesome. You want to know something? Is like, and being at that age and knowing that already, that's when you're supposed to know, right?
yeah,
It's, most people, they're taught a certain way and they're taught to work for people or
exactly.
taught to be part of the cycle that everybody else is, right? And your dad's an entrepreneur, right? He owns his own business, or at least you had somebody that showed you the way early, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
And, even then, you have all these things going on, but you even still help him run his business on your downtime. So,
Yeah.
because it's a family business, of course, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
So, it's great because, with the new things you're learning, you're going to be able to help his business tremendously too, because technology is everything. Technology is taking over. What is it that his company is exactly?
So, right now he's doing carpet cleaning. So he
Okay.
started a carpet cleaning company. But he's owned moving companies. Like he owned a franchise called Chunks. So he owned that. He owned a dog training and breeding facility, doing pointing labs. And
Entrepreneur stuff.
yeah, pretty much. There's a lot.
Anything that's gonna, make sense for him, which is it's pretty cool. And you
Yeah.
guys are from a small town. So everybody pretty
Yeah.
much knows each other. So it's a great way, for me, I look at it like this. Like I lived in Pennsylvania at one point. And
Mhm.
I remember when I moved there, I remember saying, man, this place is so small. Coming from New York, so I'm from New York City. So coming from New York City, going to Pennsylvania and seeing how small this town was in Stroudsburg, Pennsylvania. And to me, I was like, man, I can take over this place.
Yeah.
Like I can literally take over this town. But one of the biggest things I saw, right? And which it was, unfortunate, is that a lot of people, because it's a small town, they don't have too much money. They don't have too many cars to drive around. So
Okay.
if you have an office, I had call centers at the time, you know, they couldn't get to the job, you know, so it was hard for them to work. And, you know, it was unfortunate, you know, but it's something more of a, you need a, those are the type of warehouse jobs or, you know, mill jobs, things like that, where people go there every day, clock in, clock out, and they got a bus that's taking them right back home, maybe, or they're carpooling back home. That's how Pennsylvania is.
Yeah.
So, and pretty, your town is probably the same, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Smaller town, right?
Mhm.
So, you know, it was unfortunate, but you think that you can take over a town like that because it's so small. And honestly, where you're at, you know, you have a better, you know, view of your town and what it's needing, right?
Mhm.
And for the cleaning company, you know, yeah, great. Like there's nobody around doing cleaning. That's a great idea, right? Now,
Yeah.
that's more of an expansion thing because now you got to find all these business willing to pay you to go ahead and do that cleaning, whether you're doing commercial or personal.
Yeah.
Now, were you doing commercial or personal? Was it?
Both. Both.
Oh, well, there
So
you
yeah,
go.
there was like
So
hospitals that I did.
look at
And I
that.
hired all my friends, like they were younger than me in high school, and they came in. It was pretty cool.
Awesome. And
Yeah.
now then when you sold that, you got into the financial service business. So everybody knows Karissa bought one of our small businesses, a loan service business, and she's being trained. She's learning the financial world. She, you know, is a downline under ETG Financial where she gets all the support that she needs. Michael from the last episode, he helps her as well. And, you know, at the end of the day, it's something that for her to go from flipping cars to a cleaning service to a financial service company that she owns, it's called KDG Capital. You can go to her website. You can, she'll help you out with any of the financial services you need. And at, you know, on our, once we finish this and we get this live, you're going to have your QR code so people can go to your website too. But now it's something that, you know, at your age to do all of these different things, you're finding your way, right?
Yeah.
And to to think about it, going into the financial service where there's no limit amounts of money you can make, right? And the good thing about you is you focus a lot on the higher ticket items like commercial loans and aircraft loans and things like that. So you have a goal in mind, right? And that's, you know, I want to go for gusto,
Yeah.
right? Which is
Exactly.
awesome, right? And you know, the good thing about this is that, you know, because you're an entrepreneur, and I tell this to everybody, to my guys, to anybody that signs up with us and buys the business. I tell everybody the same thing. It's, you know, because you're in a different world of people now, right? These are people that are in, you know, high net worth individuals to low net worth individuals. But with what you're dealing with, commercial aircrafts, stuff like that, you're dealing with high net worth, right? And those individuals, they're able to go ahead and as you're building relationships with them, as you go ahead and help them with those financial needs that they have, you're able to learn from them because they're doing something and you as an entrepreneur, you're always like a sponge. You want to learn as much as you can and utilize it somewhere in your life, whether it's now or down the line. But it's about knowing, right?
Mhm.
And some people just don't like to know. They just like to go through life, let it go in one, out the other, because for them it's, you know, oh, it had that has nothing to do with me. So why should I even care about it? Right. And
Yeah.
I commend you on that. Like you don't, you're not the type of person that just does something for nothing. I remember when you got into the loan service business, you know, you redirected a lot of the people that we have here on the way they market themselves, right? Whether it's social media marketing or direct marketing, things like that. You did your own due diligence. You signed up with a whole other company that helps you find people as well. And, you know, like these are things that people without the want, they're never going to do it, right?
Mhm.
And one thing for sure, you know, obviously your mentality is totally different than a lot of people, and it's always going to be that way. Me personally, I remember at 18 or 19, I forget, I used to do security, right? At a
Okay.
museum, I remember. And the manager tells me, he goes, "Hey, you got to stand here for the whole day." I tell him, "I look, I am not standing there, right? you need to put me as a rover. I'll sit there for 30, go there for 30, go there for 30, but I can't stand still. Right? It's not gonna happen. Right. So he went ahead and was like, no, you got to stand there. I was like, all right. So every 30 minutes, I told the next guy, let's switch. Come over here. I'm gonna go over there. By the time you know it, I was in the whole building already. Right. Just because I knew I couldn't stand still. I'm not gonna look at one wall all day long. Right. I know I deserve more and I know I'm worth more. And eventually the owner of the business was like, look, you're obviously not listening to nobody, right? So I'm going to allow you to do this, right? And he told me, I don't have to stand nowhere. Just walk around. So that's
There you go.
perfect. I'm going to walk
Problem.
around then. This is what I'm going to do, right? And then I just got tired of it and I stopped, right? Because, when it comes down to it, that's not what I want, right? I feel like I'm an entrepreneur. I remember as a kid, 5, 6 years old, my mom used to send us out there, walking dogs for $5, grabbing garbage from the 5th floor and bringing it out for people for $5 a week from each one of those people or whatever, right? And doing paperboy. I did the paperboy for a little while. So I did all of these different things, and I knew it as a kid. I needed to be my own boss. And I've always been the person that was on my own path, because I remember friends in my neighborhood, they would go, oh, let's go upstairs and play video games. And I would be like, no, I don't want to play video games. Let's go over here. Let's do this, or let's do something else. Right.
Yeah.
And even if I stood outside by myself doing that thing, it was me, because I'm stubborn. I'm going to do what I want, not what everybody else wants. Right.
Yeah.
And that's what entrepreneurship is. It's following your own path, doing your own thing. And then, eventually people will follow, or, not. And if they don't, they probably weren't meant to be there anyway. Right.
Yeah.
And you have a lot of good friends, right? That you offer your friends, which is awesome, because I do the same thing. It's you offer all of your friends the opportunities that you have.
Yeah.
Right. So with your cleaning company, you ended up selling it to your friends. Right. And even with the lending company, I remember you telling me you're trying to hire all these friends to be brokers under you, right? Even if they have no experience, you're trying to hire them just to say, look, take the opportunity, because that's all it is. It's an opportunity to do great, right?
Exactly.
Now,
And that's whenever I meet someone new, or like they talk about being an entrepreneur, I always give them the opportunity, like, hey, this is a place you can make a lot of money. I mean, you put in the work, you do it consistently, have persistence, you can make a lot of money doing this. And I do that to everyone I meet, whoever talks, and like you can notice an entrepreneur when you see one, you go out in public, like
yeah,
someone's yeah. So I like to be around people like that, which is not many in my town. So I like to go out and find people like that, but I always give them opportunity. This is a huge opportunity for people that are trying to become an entrepreneur and just make money,
yeah,
honestly.
yeah, yeah. Because there's a ton of money out there, right? And I
Yeah.
say that all the time. It's a ton of money out there, whether, the good thing about with you offer all the same loan products and financial products that ETG does, right?
Mhm.
And that means that you have a ton of things you can direct to.
Exactly.
So if you wanted to focus on airplanes, that's what you focus on. If you want to focus on commercial, that's what you're going to focus. Or even if you want to do credit card processing, you're going to focus on that, right?
Yeah.
And that's the beautiful thing about what you have, is that you have a platform where you can offer multiple things to your friends and your family members and anybody really that wants to do something with their lives. And that's where I was getting at when, you live in a small town, right? So the beautiful thing is, when I lived in that small town, I didn't have a financial company yet, right? So my thing was call centers. So now if I lived in a small town, I'm offering everybody to work from home. You don't want to do anything, at least don't do anything for me, right? And go ahead and work on from home, doing what you got to do from your house. But if you don't want to leave your house, that's fine. But do it for me while you're at home. Get on your computer a few hours or an hour a day, promote yourself, so that at least we can get some leads in, and then we can make some money together. And once you see you make some money, maybe you want to focus a little bit more on it, because now you see there's actual money, that you're going to make here. Right.
Mhm.
And a lot
Totally.
of people, that's the thing, is that, they want to, I need to see you do it first, or I need to see this, right? those are people that are really not going to go nowhere, right?
Yeah.
And it's only because if you keep waiting, what like what are you waiting for, right?
Yeah. You
Like
can't be a sayer, you gotta be a doer. So
there you go. You heard that, right? You got to be a doer, right? And that's the key is, do it all. Like, and I tell people all the time, opportunities, you're probably never going to see me say no, right? And the reason I don't is because that door, just because you went through that door, doesn't mean it's a successful situation. But when you went through that door, you probably met somebody that's going to open them another door that might be the successful one, right? And it only takes one
Mhm.
thing to make you super successful. All right. You have these artists, rap artists, you have, brokers that close a huge commercial deal and make a couple $1 million off of that deal, changes their life. Now they're Don Juan, right? Now they're doing the greatest thing ever, but they probably closed one deal that changed their life. And then the rest of them are smaller deals, which, it's fine, but all you got to do is they only hit that deal because they kept going. All right. They kept going and hit a bunch of small ones until they hit that huge deal that changed their life. And same, and not even just in the loan side of things, just in general, right? Is, people, let's say artists, right? Music artists, they're singing, they got thousands of songs out there on YouTube and nobody listens to them. They got like 10 likes, maybe, or 10 views. And then one song goes viral, every one of their songs go viral because now somebody said, man, that was a great song. What else do they have? And then that's the chain of effect, right? So it's something that with you being so young and being so hungry and, never giving up and being willing to actually work, there's no chance of failure. None.
Right. Yeah.
Only lessons. All
Yeah.
right. The only people that fail are the ones that never start.
Exactly.
And you just keep going. And to me, I think that's great, right? I think it's awesome. So what other ideas, like, I know growing up you didn't want to sell cars. You didn't
No.
want to be a cleaning person. You didn't want to start a financial company. What kind of ideas you had when you were younger, like what you wanted to be?
I never wanted I always knew that I was gonna have my own company. I was
Uh,
gonna be self-employed. Like I knew that from a
100%. Your
young
dad
age.
is who
Like
your dad is
yeah,
who he is, right? That's how I
yeah,
teach my kids.
exactly. So I always knew that. I never wanted a specific thing. I just knew that I was going to be successful and I knew success wasn't working a 9 to 5 for someone else's dream. So I knew I had to do that and figure that on my own. And I guess just at a young age, having that in my mind developed me to start these companies and trying to figure out what I like. And I really like is the business lending side of things, but also generating the leads. I have an interest for marketing and just grabbing attention and then generating that lead and then having that lead become your customer. So I I think I just really want to do is just generate the leads. I love generating leads and talking to people as well. I think just marketing is really fascinating to me. So I think that's kind of something I'm going to go down and just, you
That's the
know,
the AI thing you were telling me about, right?
that too. Yeah. And this lead is just monetizing the lead. So business owner comes in for a business loan, can't qualify, you say personal loan, we have that or merchant processing, but also we can offer them, hey, do you want AI as a service? Do you want this to in your business? There's so many things you can do with AI, but just something to offer the business
Yeah.
owner other than just loans or,
Because
just
it's your platform, it's a
exactly.
platform. So this is a platform where you get to offer multiple things, right? Whether it's financial services in any
Yep.
factor, whether it's loans, merchant processing, credit repair,
Right.
whatever it may be, AI stuff for their business, maybe the CRM system,
Yeah.
which I told you too, you can offer the CRM system that we have as a sale for you, right? So that's something that if you wanted to put that on your platform, we can do that as well as another service that you wanted to offer. But it's honestly, like I said, technology is where it's at, right? And people are making money off of that residual income coming in, paying a subscription or paying different things like that. And you're right, AI is like the thing.
Yeah.
They have AI for everything now. So it's, why not jump into the AI mix and where you can help a business? And that's the target, right? Businesses are looking for something with AI.
Mm-hmm.
So whether that AI is a response thing where their customer service calling, like somebody calls in, hey, call in and see if you guys are, this or this, and that AI is the one talking. Yes, we can make an appointment for you. When's
Yeah.
good for time for you? Is to set you up so I can have a specialist talk to you. And now they're going ahead and setting up a whole appointment for an actual salesperson to close them on a deal. There's
Mhm.
even programs where the AI closes them on the deal, which is crazy. But it's something that, because AI is getting so advanced and where it's at right now, and Microsoft is working on things with AI with the guy that made Chat GPT, and it's crazy, right? So
Yeah.
it's definitely something to be a part of.
Yeah.
It's definitely something to be a part of, and elevate your businesses. And it's not even just for your loan service or this, because 100% the loan service is not going to be your last company you deal with, right? You're an entrepreneur.
Mm-hmm.
So you're going to go from this loan service and keep this as part of your portfolio, do something else, add that to your portfolio, do something else, add that to your portfolio. And, you're going to be one of these superstars out here that are like, people are going to be looking up to, man, you got to check out Karissa. She's doing her thing over there. And who knows, maybe you start your podcast for women, empowering women to do great things because, I'm a strong believer in empowering women because I have girls. My kids are girls, not boys, right? So I go to dance class, not football. so so for me, it's really about, women have to empower each other, right?
Yeah.
And they have to want to, big up everybody. Like, look, get up off your butt, get out here and get into the hustle because there's more than enough money out here. And sometimes there's always people that throw excuses out there like, oh, I don't have time. You definitely could,
Oh
right?
yeah, everyone can.
A
Yeah.
100%. Look at yourself. You're helping your dad with his business. You're running your business. You're
Mhm.
focusing on something else with AI stuff right now. You know,
Yeah.
that takes effort. That's
Yeah.
all it is, right?
Right.
Effort, giving a little bit of effort can get you a lot of recognition later,
Mm-hmm.
right? And that's all you do is, you take advantage of your time. And
Yeah.
because you're young, you value your time. So you're not out there saying, let's go have a drink with my girls,
Yeah.
or let me go, hang out with this guy or that person or whatever. You're really focusing on you.
Mm-hmm.
And to me, that's key, right? I tell my kids all the time, like, you know, don't ever count on nobody else.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to be a boss. You're going to own your own businesses. You're going to do all the great things and then allow people to follow you, not you follow people. All
Yeah.
right. And, like I said, you should. That's something you should think about, as part of your journey. Maybe start a podcast, for women and for women entrepreneurs and just going ahead and showing them the way. I seen something else, forget the name of it, but this lady, she started a big group of women that what they do is they do a lot of women empowerment stuff. They go on vacations of women building or entrepreneurship building together as women, things like that. And there's a huge following there, huge
Mm-hmm.
following, right? And people need that, and
Yeah.
especially in small towns, right? In
Exactly. Yeah.
small towns, they definitely need that, or networking events where people come together and just talk about building with each other. You probably have people in your town right now that are doing certain things and they don't even know you yet.
Yeah.
And the moment they get to know you and who you are, they can be like, man, where has this girl been? I need to
Right.
go
Yeah.
ahead and like we need to hang out more. Right? Let's talk about it, right? And to me, like I said, that's where you're going. You should focus a little bit on that and
Mm-hmm.
embrace the fact that you are who you are and allow people to know who you are because, as a young entrepreneur, you have a lot to offer.
Mm-hmm.
All right. But besides that, I love the fact that you're doing all these great things, and I know you have goals, right? So as a young kid, you didn't really, you just knew you wanted to be a boss, right? I'm gonna run my own thing, I'm gonna do my own thing, stuff like that, right? So, and I know now you're dealing with AI stuff. So those are your stepping stones to your journey.
Yeah.
But what are you doing today, right? For the, let's say the finance company. What are you doing today to go ahead and kind of expand on what you're already doing? Like
With the
what are you doing to put into those things?
well, creating I'm creating a system. Really, I want that's my goal is to create a system where the lead comes in, call out to it, qualify the lead for the finance business, and then get on the phone with it, answer all the questions, just have a full system so it's easier for me to understand it and to call it and and follow up with the customer as
Basically
well.
lead generation without you having to, kill yourself out there and allow it to
Exactly.
come in by itself.
Exactly, exactly, and implementing AI into it too is gonna make it a whole lot easier as well.
Yeah.
So they're gonna qualify it, they're gonna do the customer support, answer all the questions, all that type of stuff, but just I really my goal is to have a really, really good system for the finance industry, so all I have to do is get on the phone to really answer additional questions and then, talk to the lender, all these things, just that's
Make
really
it
what
more
I'm.
simple, make it more of a streamlined effect.
Yeah,
Pretty much,
exactly,
pretty much.
exactly,
All
then
right.
going
Well,
back and forth
yeah.
with.
And the good thing is, when you're getting these type of leads in, and you're able to cipher through them without wasting time, because
Yeah.
that's honestly, anybody that deals with these loans know that a lot of times you get unqualified applications,
Right,
right? Those unqualified applications can waste time if you don't know what you're looking at.
right.
And good thing is us having that CRM in place where those apps come directly in and you're able to
Right,
see those on the back end, things like that. That allows one thing, it allows you to get everything in hand up front. Then you
right.
can cipher through, all right, well, you know, their statements are no good, or this doesn't match, or that doesn't match. And us you creating that AI system that will be able to cipher through what is and what's not, that's going to be key for a lot of businesses. You
Right,
literally can sell that as a service all day long and make a killing on it. Because
right.
trust me, I know a lot of people, a lot of brokers out here, a lot of people from other companies that are every single day they're putting in this work, but they spend a lot of time spinning their wheels. All right.
Mhm.
So definitely I would say, go forward with that. Really like stick to that and, find that's the change, right? You need to find change.
Right,
Anything I do, it's always trying to, all right, all of this is in place already. What can I add?
right.
What can I
Yes.
do a little bit different so that makes it easier for people to do this part of that? Right?
Mhm.
And that's why, like us being a global company and your company as well being a global company, beautiful thing about that is the fact that we don't just deal with one state, where in that state, it might be congested with a bunch of brokers out there and trying to everybody come into that state. We deal with every state there is and all of those other countries that we deal with, right? So good thing about that is it's an outreach. There's a flux of people out there that you're going to be able to attack when it comes to loan products, when it comes to merchant processing products, and so many different things. So, man, it's like I can only imagine, once that falls into place, how great that's going to be for you.
Yeah,
All
right.
right. And I don't know how, how well your dad does with his businesses, pretty sure
Mhm.
with all his businesses, he definitely hit a million already, right? But
Yeah.
it's, being, a young woman in your family and showing everybody how you're breaking your cycles and stuff like that, that's going to
Mhm.
be an accomplishment all in itself.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
All right. So tell me something about Karissa that that is something that that you just love, like something that just gets you going, right? Like this is what
Business.
business, right?
Yeah.
That's how I am. That's
Yeah.
that's exactly how I am. It's like there's nothing else. I don't besides my family is nothing much more that excites me. I don't watch sports.
Me
I
either.
don't,
Yeah.
care about much of anything. It's, my wife always tells me, every conversation we have, it's about business. Telling me about something business you're doing, right?
That's me with my friends. Like whenever they call me or something, or ask me what I'm doing, I'm like, I'm working. And then when I go hang out with them, which I do like very rarely, I always want to talk about money, and I always want to talk about business because one, they always talk about not having enough money, and I'm like, if you listen to me, you can make money, but there's people that don't like to listen, only like to speak.
They're too busy trying to do something else.
Yeah, but that's just yeah,
Money.
because
It's
yeah.
just working, right? It's just the fact that it's the go mindset. Like it's just I'm always on the go. It's I can talk to you. I have friends all the time. Like one thing about the good thing about my friends is that when we talk, they know when I'm on the phone with them and I'm having a conversation, we're not talking about miscellaneous stuff.
Yeah.
So I love to invest in cryptocurrency, so stuff like that. They like to invest in stocks. They always like to talk about different little investment moves they like to make and different opportunities they like to do, which it's great, right? Because before where we came from, where these are all childhood friends of mine, and where we came from, you know, we had to break the cycle. We
Hmm.
had to not want to be like everybody else or continue to follow in our steps of where we were going. We had to about face and go a different direction because it was really something of, do I want to keep doing this? I already see this road, or do I want to go down this road where that road would lead us to, great opportunities or even just something different, right?
Hmm.
Because sometimes that's all you need is just that difference,
Yeah.
maybe a different light, right? I lived in a few different states myself, and it's
Hmm.
funny because every one of those states, it's like totally different, right? It's like New York, too busy, right? It's too much going on, which I love it. I grew up there my whole life, and then I moved. I remember I lived in PA, slow. It
Totally
went from here to like a snail, right?
different.
And I moved to Florida. It was more speed, but it calm, like a
Mhm.
little bit more calm. And then I moved to Jersey City, which was right next to New York, right, right across the water. It's a little faster, but a little more chill. Where I'm at now, it's all right. It's not my speed as well. I'm in New Jersey still, but I don't. Have you ever been to California?
I've not.
You gotta go.
I
I,
do.
I love California,
You
right?
do.
I love it. That's my speed, right?
Yeah.
Like you got to know, as a person, where do you feel comfortable, right?
Hmm.
And know the speed of where your mind is and how everybody else thinks and stuff like that. And for me, I feel like California is that for me.
Yeah.
So eventually I'll be over there because my daughter wants to go to UCLA. So I'm gonna end up being over there eventually, but until
Awesome.
then. Right. So have you lived anywhere else, or that's your town you lived in your whole life?
I've lived in Iowa my whole life.
Yeah. In the
So
same place, like same area?
yeah, same area.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh man. So
Uh,
you just know all the same people from when you was kids.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty much, I
So
would
do
say.
you plan on going somewhere else? Like you plan
I
on?
plan on moving. There's more opportunities in other places
Yeah.
than Iowa. So I plan probably here this year or next year to move somewhere just with
What do you
more
think?
opportunities. What's that?
Where you think?
I don't know. I'm either down south somewhere, so it's
Yeah.
warmer, I would say, or maybe Chicago, or I don't know.
The
I haven't
Windy
figured out.
City.
Yeah, I know, I know.
Yeah, I hear Chicago's great.
Yeah,
I hear that, it's a great city. People, money wise, there's a lot of business opportunities there.
yeah,
Um, have you ever been there?
yeah. I have. I've been there
Okay.
a couple. Yeah,
Yeah, so you know how the feeling is and stuff
yeah.
like
Oh
that.
yeah.
I would say check California.
California?
Man, with that mind of yours, you go to California, you do some great things, and you got good ideas about the AI stuff and technology, and you're gonna find a lot of that in California. You're
Mm-hmm.
gonna find a lot of those people that are they're already there,
Yeah.
and they just need people like yourself to bring them a good idea
Mm-hmm.
and collaborate together and do something,
Yeah.
right? And who
Right.
knows, somebody end up watching this podcast, they'd be like, man, that's Carissa's number right there. I'm contacting her. She got a great idea. And that's honestly, that's why like this podcast was created, was so that one, you guys can tell your story, right? And all the great things you're doing and the great things you're wanting to do, and you're wanting to just show people how, anybody can do this, right? And I tell the people all the time, listen, I'm not the special guy, right? I just
Mhm.
work, and I just keep going, and I keep trying new things, and I keep, once something I feel like is structured and put in place, I'll start something else, and I'll put somebody in place for that to run that business for me while I focus on this business and build this up to where it needs to go. And that's the thing is like, Warren Buffett doesn't own all of these companies and work for them. He owns all these companies and makes money off of them,
Right, exactly. Yeah.
and it's something that, we all bleed the same blood. So we can all do the same things. It
Yeah.
all takes that, finding your route, finding that effort in you to actually step up and go.
And that
I got people that give me excuses all the time,
yeah.
you
Yeah.
know. But you've never been an excuse person, which is awesome, right? And that's something that, you know, keep up that great work, and don't ever let anybody tell you you're going wrong, because more than likely, if they're telling you you're going wrong, that means they're going the opposite way. So
Exactly.
keep going. Don't worry
Yeah.
about it. Tell me I'm going wrong as I keep passing you. It's fine.
Right.
Right?
Right.
Tell
Yeah.
me that. Tell me that on the way to the bank.
Yeah. Exactly.
But so let me ask you this. So right now, right? I know eventually you're looking to do this AI stuff and build that into place. Have you took steps forward to that yet?
Yeah, I have. So I'm
Okay.
learning it. Really, I know the marketing of it. It's just like a business loan, really. You just offer them something else.
Yeah. Once you learn the structure, you can use that
Yeah.
structure for everything.
So now I just gotta learn, how to sell it, which it's not that hard to do, but just learn how to build it too. But I think this thing, it could be, it's just another thing to offer, and just to monetize the leads that are coming in, that I'm bringing in, to offer him something. But yeah, so I've started on that. I'm hoping to get it up here end of June, start selling it to people.
Right. Look
Business
at
owners.
the CRM when you get a chance, right?
Yeah, yeah, I have. I've checked into that.
Go in that CRM and look for something that, when you go to on the first side of it, it says memberships.
Mm-hmm.
Right? On the membership page, you actually can create courses and products that you can sell there, right? And once you're on there, create those packages you want to sell for the AI for the businesses,
Mm-hmm.
and use that as something to offer to people. And
Okay.
you can use that for everything. That CRM system is awesome, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's so many different ways you can benefit from that, whether it's for the loan company or any other company. And obviously, you do the social media marketing from there. You see
Yeah.
how easy that's manageable, right?
Mm-hmm.
So take advantage of it,
Yeah.
and it already provides the AI capability. So if you're looking at if you go to the automation side of it,
Mm-hmm.
on the automation side of it, you see how the whole conversation spiel, there's a whole diagram on how you can do that, right?
Yeah.
Person calls in, these are press one for this, press two for that, or whatever it
Mm-hmm.
may be. And then it'll bring them to something else. All right, you're looking for personal owned business, It'll pick whichever one they picking. Now it brings the next. All right, go ahead, check your text message. Just received the text message. Go ahead and apply. All
Yeah.
by AI, right?
Mm-hmm.
And these are things you can do right through the CRM. So definitely, take advantage of that as much as you can, and
Yeah.
utilize it for every one of your ventures that you're using. If you're getting, you have it, right? You have access to it. Take advantage of it. All right.
Yeah.
Don't just use it for one thing. All right.
Okay.
Um, Besides that, Carissa, you know, I'm happy we had you on here. All right,
Thanks for
because
having me.
it's great for other women and other young women to understand that opportunity is not something you have to go ahead and wait for.
Yeah.
You literally can take action and create your opportunity. And the way you do that is by just moving forward and going for your goals and just taking chances.
Mm-hmm.
Take every chance you can. that's going to allow you to be successful. And if you come from a family where, they're not entrepreneurs, right? But you don't want that to be you, let them work. Don't just follow in that step. If you know that we're in a different world, a different, generation where there's so many entrepreneurs out here, right? And that's something that by you telling your story and by you telling people how at 16 you're flipping cars, and then you started your cleaning service and sold that, made some money, bought a finance company, and then your next goal, your next step is to start a whole platform with AI to help with your finance company and anybody else's companies as well. Like, man, like, and you still, how old are you again?
I'm 19.
Stop it. 19 years old. Okay. Come on. He's 19 years old. And these are the things you're thinking about. Okay. Like that mind is something else, and just keep on and just allow, like I said, you need to start a podcast, or you need to start a newsletter or something, a blog, something to allow people to know you, because as a young woman, you're gonna inspire so many young women out there that just they're gonna see like they can do it. And you're in a
Yeah,
little town. Some of
that's true.
these people are in bigger cities and they have maybe way more opportunity, right? Or there's so many other things they can do. And some people just don't take it because I'm too young.
Right.
Oh, I'll do that later. I'm
Yeah.
hanging out with my friends right now, right? You're inspiring those girls, those young women to realize, like, look, I'm 19 and I've done way more than most people have done. All right. Your age, you've done way more than most people. Honestly, at your age, you did more than I did as a 19-year-old, right? So it's something that, like, if I was moving by, like, I had those small little things I was doing, making my little money here, little side things, doing a little construction here, working, like, trust me, if I started in the path that you did as well, I'd probably be 10 times further in front of myself, right? But you have that, and you're going to teach that to multiple people, and I'm not in a bad place. I got a lot of great companies, but if I would have started earlier, it would probably been, I would, instead of having 10, I would have had 20, right? And
Yeah.
it's really something that is like, man, you're awesome for that. 19 years old, that's,
Thank you. Thank you.
for real. So, but yeah, like, I'm happy that we had you here. And again, you're going to be an inspiration to a lot of people when they hear this story. And I'm going to want to have you on here again one day to see, your progress and all the great things you're still doing. And what else have you done? And you always know, you have my number. You can call me whenever and, ask my opinion, or even some mentorship in that case, right? Or even just my connections, because I know a whole lot of people. All right.
I like the sound of
So,
that.
but definitely, like I said, it's something that it was great having you on here. Keep up the great work, keep helping people, because that's, entrepreneurship, it's one thing we love to keep going, but we always love to help people as well, right?
Exactly. Exactly.
It's what I teach you, you teach somebody else.
Yeah.
You got to always build up and pick people up.
Right.
So keep on the great work. Again, keep in contact with us. But besides that, we're gonna shut this down, and I look forward to having you on again at one point. But besides that, for all my BXB podcast audience, it was. I hope you learned from this young lady, because she has a story to tell, and she's done great things, at a young age, and she's 19. Imagine her journey, and this is something that you guys can do. So please stay tuned for, other podcast people that we have on here that are going to be able to teach you great things. But learn from this young lady, and, just go. Like she said, be a doer. All right. And just do. Don't wait.
Right.
All right.
Exactly.
You want to tell anybody anything before you go? Some advice?
Be a doer, not a sayer. Just go out and do it. What's the worst that can happen? Literally, just do it.
Like
If you
Nike.
quit, you're done. But if you don't quit, you can make it. Just keep going.
There you go.
Uh, yeah.
There
But
you go.
thank you for having me. It's an honor. I can't wait to come back. But yeah, thank you, Steve.
You're welcome, and thank you. All right.
Yeah.
Well, until
So,
next time.
yeah.
All right. It was a pleasure, guys. To our next person we have on our podcast and our next video, just go ahead and like us, subscribe us, share us with anybody you guys know so that they can get more involved in entrepreneurship. But it was a pleasure, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Goodbye.